Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Gil Ponce, and let's queer up gay culture. Was Project 2025 real? It has already accomplished about 70% of the plan against LGBTQ communities. President Trump has recently checked off nearly 70% of the anti-LGBTQ plus policy goals outlined in Project 2025, the far-right blueprint for a second term created by the Christian nationalist think tank, the Heritage Foundation. The project, according to the website, Project 2025 Tracker, which calls itself a comprehensive community-driven initiative monitoring these proposals. Of the blueprint's 18 queer-related goals, the tracker lists 11 as completed, 3 is in progress, and 4 is not started. Many so-called completed projects have targeted gender-affirming healthcare, erased LGBTQ inclusive language from federal rules, and reinterpreted anti-discrimination laws to exclude trans and non-binary people. Most were enacted through Trump's executive orders, meaning a future president could reverse them. Few became law through Congress. The in-progress list includes cutting funds to so-called woke groups and prioritizing heterosexual families in policy. The not started category includes rescinding Medicare coverage for gender-affirming surgeries, criminalizing pro-trans educators and librarians, and protecting religious discrimination. Overall, the tracker says Trump has completed 47% of all Project 2025 goals in just 7 months into his second term, aided by a Republican Congress and a conservative Supreme Court majority. Trump has denied any link to Project 2025, saying, quote, "Some of these things they're saying are absolutely ridiculous and abysmal. Anything they do, I wish them luck, but I have nothing to do with them." End quote. But as then Vice Presidential nominee Tim Walz put at the Democratic National Convention, when somebody takes the time to draw up a playbook, they're gonna use it. End quote. And that is so darn true. For the queer community, the question isn't if Project 2025 is real, but how much more of it will become reality. So if I look at things right now as somebody who's in the public policy landscape, completing 47% of any legislative agenda is, quite frankly,
pretty good, huh?
Pretty good. But the fact that we have 70% of anti-LGBTQ policy has already been completed, and knowing that just within the last, I think, couple of days, the Supreme Court has taken up the case from Kim Davis about hearing about the end of marriage equality. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I think this highlights the importance of 2026, getting out, voting, and especially when you look at what's happening in Texas and all the redistricting battles that are happening right now. It's more important than ever, especially when we're dealing with it right here in the state of Florida, where we need to get out, vote, and make sure that we truly are our best advocates. Where, quite frankly, make sure that one, I hope that we have competitive primaries. I think that the best thing for queer candidates, queer causes, for a healthy, competitive Democratic primary, to make sure that we're actually putting forward the right candidates that are going to be able to espouse the right messages. I feel very hopeful about David Jolly and his campaign for governor. I think with some of the issues going on with the DeSantis administration, with the Hope Florida scandal and the affordability issues, I think that there's a silver lining for the right coalition to be built about, and I'm hoping we can get strong candidates up and down the ballot from U.S. Senate to governor all the way down to state houses and your local races.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, what we need to do is build a strong, unified ticket.
Yeah, and midterm elections will be here before you know it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, literally, Dino, what are you thinking, babe?
I mean, I think this is...
You remember when it was brought to Trump's attention about Project 2025,
right.
and he's like, oh, I got nothing with that. I'm not a part of none of that. And here we are.
Here we are.
A very short 7-8 months later, and he's already gotten, so much done from this Project 2025.
Are we surprised? I mean, I think that if anything, one of the biggest accomplishments of Donald Trump has been appointing 3 members of the Supreme Court. And this is why he's gotten a lot of these across, done.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, he was very successful at that. And that's going to be his legacy
Yeah.
for years to come, unfortunately for us. I mean, it's a lot of these things that he's getting away with, and it's because all these people are there, and he makes sure, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, rest in peace.
Mama.
But
Oh yeah, she messed up. I hate to say that out
but-
loud. I hate to say those words out loud because you don't understand. As a woman, as an icon, as an inspiration,
Yes.
she did so much for us. But she should have stepped down when she had the opportunity
right.
and got one of our own in there.
Exactly right, and we wouldn't. I mean, it will be
We'd
more
still be
balanced.
yes.
It's still a little, but less than.
Yeah.
And a lot of these things that we're seeing today is because they are rubber stamping everything he just.
And this goes back to 2015, back when the Republicans, i.e. Darth Vader, decided to deny Obama the chance to have Merrick Garland
That's
join
right.
the Supreme Court.
Wow.
So at the end of the day, and then we track it back to, butter emails, but we're already seeing the destruction of LGBTQ communities, and we're seeing so much destruction of the institutions inside of our country, in no part and thanks to the big disastrous betrayal bill that came out of this Congress and was signed by the president. So
But we bow down. I mean, that the Obama administration, bowed down to this because it was electoral year. So let's not fight it and they did it the last minute to appoint somebody, the Donald Trump administration, the first administration. So, but again, like Michelle Obama says, when they go low, we go high. No, mama.
And let's remember that back when, in 2015, back when Lindsey Graham, we're going to hereby refer to him, Lady G.
Lady G.
There basically said, we're not going to take up the tradition of nominations when he was the head of the Senate Judiciary Committee. Second, it happens in 2020. Oh, no, this is a completely different circumstance. But guess what? Karma is, pardon my French, karma is the ultimate bitch because the author of Project 2025 is primarying Lindsey Graham. So ultimately, he's going to have a very fun primary in South Carolina.
Well, folks, honestly, let's be clear. Project 2025 is not a conspiracy theory. It's a freaking playbook, and we all know it at this table. And nearly 3/4 of it is anti-LGBTQ goals, and they're already reality for a lot of our siblings. So most came through executive orders, which means they can be reversed, but only if we have the political will, like Gil said. The danger isn't in wondering if it's real. It's in underestimating how fast it's going to get to you or to us.
He's not even 14% into his term, for 13.89% to be exact. So I guess it's just a reminder that we have a lot of work to do and we can't, let it slip by us.
Yeah, for nothing. South Park, make more episodes.
Hello.
That is the big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.